Hello, my name is Brandon Davies. I'm a criminal defense lawyer based out of Overland Park, Kansas. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to testify, things to remember when you're testifying. The idea being to take a little bit of the stress out of having to go testify in court. Now, this may be being watched by a person who's accused of a crime and is thinking about testifying in court. It may be being watched by an alleged victim or just a lay witness, someone that had nothing to do with the case. I'm going to give you a couple of different tips to make this a little bit more of a pain-free process. Tip number one, always keep your answer short and direct. Don't use 50 words when 5 will do. Remember, you're going to be cross-examined by a lawyer at some point during your testimony, and the more words you use, the more ammunition that the lawyer has to try to turn those words around on you. So always keep your answers short. Tip number two, don't be scared to recant on something. If you make a mistake, if it's a simple mistake, say the lawyer asks you what day of the week it was and you say it was a Tuesday, but then you remember later on during your testimony that it was actually a Wednesday. Don't be scared to go back and correct yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. Where people get themselves into trouble is when they are unwilling to go back and admit an obvious mistake. It pulls their entire credibility into question, and the lawyer that is cross-examining you is sure to point that kind of thing out. Tip number three, stick to your guns on what you saw. The important stuff, what you actually witnessed. Make sure to not let anyone put words in your mouth. Lawyers go to all kinds of training to try to manipulate words, to try to get you to say something that you don't really mean, or at least get you to hedge, so that way they can turn that around on you and try to impugn your credibility. If you saw something, say you saw it. Be matter of fact about your statements. Which leads me to tip number four, don't hedge. It's kind of a common way to speak where you'll say, maybe this, or I think I saw that, when in fact you know you saw something. If you know you saw something, don't use qualifying words like maybe or I think. Those kind of words can bring your credibility into question. Those kind of words will surely be hit on whenever you're getting cross-examined by another lawyer. So be matter of fact, don't hedge. Tip number five, don't think for a second that you are smarter in this avenue than the lawyer that is questioning you. Remember, this lawyer who's questioning you has probably spent hours and hours thinking about your answers, your responses, how they're going to ask you questions, and how they're going to craft those questions no matter what you say to have some sort of follow-up question that might be able to be spun back on you. You're going to be at a disadvantage. You're going to be answering these questions, pulling the information out of your memory. You're going to be in a stressful situation and you've probably never had to testify in court before. The lawyer has probably been in court 3 or 4 times that week. And then lastly, you're going to be at a disadvantage because the lawyer knows the rules of the court and you don't. They're going to know how to position questions to make you say things that you might not particularly mean. So don't for a second try to get cute with the lawyer. Just answer the questions and move on. Tip number 6 is probably the most important tip, and that's always to tell the truth. And don't let your competitive nature get the best of you. There's only 2 types of people in court. It's not winners and losers. It's people that tell the truth and people that don't tell the truth. You want to go home at the end of the night knowing you've done the right thing and always told the truth. If you have any questions about testifying in court, if you're getting called to testify in court, or you're thinking about testifying in court in a criminal defense matter, feel free to contact my office at 913-451-9500.